Welcome to Leadership in the Line of Fire with your host, Brad Howe. Join Brad as he dives into the heat of leadership challenges, where the flames of business uncertainty meet the hard-earned lessons of firefighting. Embrace change, master agility, and become the trusted leader guiding your team through the smoke. Get ready to ignite your leadership journey.
Welcome to episode 7 of the Leaders in the Line of Fire podcast. Today we shift focus inward and light up a conversation that's all about you, the leader. So it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of firefighting and business, both literally and metaphorically. But how often do we stop to reflect on our own leadership journey? This episode is an invitation to take a step back from the front lines and delve into your own leadership narrative. I'll be posing questions designed to spark self-reflection and perhaps even ignite a desire to fan the flames of personal growth. So as we navigate through these questions together, I challenge you to consider not just what kind of leader you are, but what kind of leader you want to become. Get ready to explore the depths of your leadership style, and let's start the introspection. There are many questions you can ask yourself about your leadership style, but do you ever take the time? I know that I tend to spend more time thinking about things after the fact because I'm so busy, but I put aside time every now and then just to review. Currently, I'm writing my book for business leaders about becoming a more agile leader during rapid change, and it's given me a whole new perspective on what I and the other leaders I look up to do on the fireground and in business. It's also given me time to think about past experiences and the decisions I've made and why. Remember, not everyone is going to understand why you make a decision, nor are they always going to agree with it. But if you explain what you want to do and why you want to do it that particular way, they'll generally get on board. Good decisions need good intel and solid thinking behind them. Today, I hope you'll just take a little time to think about the questions I'll put to you, and if necessary, please pause the podcast and ponder for a little while. So let's get into it. Number 1, facing the heat. When was the last time you were in a high-pressure situation? I'd like you to reflect on your initial reaction. Did you jump into action, or did you take a moment to assess the situation? Number 2, team dynamics. Think about a recent team project or event. How did you contribute to the team's morale? Were you the motivator, the peacekeeper, or the strategist? Number 3, decision crossroads. Think about a decision you had to make that had no clear right answer. How did you decide, and what was the outcome? Would you do anything differently now? Number 4, communication style. How do you communicate under stress? Do you feel you get your message through effectively, or is there a disconnect? Number 5, empathy and understanding. Consider a time when a team member came to you with a problem. How did you handle it? Did you offer support and guidance, or did you encourage them to solve it on their own? Number 6, leadership reflection. What leadership quality do you admire most in others? Do you see any of those qualities in yourself? Which qualities do you wish to develop further? And number 7, learning from mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Can you think of a mistake you made as a leader? What did you learn from that experience? Okay, so that's 7 strong questions broken into multiple parts to think about. And that's why I said you might like to pause this podcast, or maybe go back when you've got a bit more time, or make some notes and go through and answer those questions. So just to review them again, we had obviously, what was the last time you were in a high pressure situation? Think about a recent team project or event. How did you contribute to the morale? Recall a decision that you had to make with no clear right answer. How do you communicate under stress? Consider a time when a team member came to you with a problem. How did you handle it? What leadership qualities do you admire most in others? And everybody makes mistakes, so can you think of a mistake you made as a leader and what did you learn from that? Now, we're going to transition from a practical sense when we're talking about leadership qualities, and we're going to move into the profound. You've pondered questions about your actions and decisions, but now let's explore the deeper currents that drive those choices. These next questions are designed to reach deep into the soul of your leadership. They are intended to unlock the deeper why behind your what. So as you're prepared to answer, I encourage you to dig down into the essence of your soul. Write down where your leadership starts. Number 1, legacy. What do you want to be remembered for in your leadership journey, and how are your current actions aligning with that legacy? Number 2, core values. Can you identify a time when your values were tested? How did you respond? And what did that reveal about your character as a leader? Number 3, authenticity. When have you felt the most authentic as a leader? Describe that moment to yourself. What barriers prevent you from feeling that authentic all of the time? Number 4, empathy. Recall a situation where you had to lead someone through a personal or professional crisis. How did you empathize with them, and what impact did that have on you both? And lastly, true north. Consider your true north, the deep internal compass that guides you. How has this compass influenced your decisions? And when has it become hardest to follow? Some quite deep questions there for you to think about, but absolutely worth the introspect to work out how you approach your leadership from a much, much deeper point of view. So as I draw today's episode to a close, I encourage you to take a step back from the immediate demands of leadership and allow yourself the space to ponder the questions we've explored. Reflect on them, not just as queries to be answered, but as gateways to a deeper self-awareness. Consider setting aside some quiet time in your day to think more profoundly about these aspects of your leadership. The insights you gain from this introspection can be informative, not only for you, but also for those you lead. Let these questions simmer in your mind and see what new understandings emerge. Remember, the journey of leadership is as much about looking inward as it is about guiding others forward. If you would like a copy of these questions, please feel free to contact me through social media or through any means, and I'll forward them to you. That's not a problem if you would like to see them written down. If you'd enjoyed our deep dive into the heart of leadership today, please take a moment to like this episode and subscribe to the podcast for more insightful conversations. If you know another leader who would benefit from the reflections I've shared, I'd be honored if you passed this podcast along. Sharing this podcast can spark meaningful change and growth in others, just as it has for you. Thank you for joining me, and remember, as always, run towards the flames.
Thank you for tuning in to Leadership in the Line of Fire. If today's episode sparked some insights, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Your support fuels this journey. Join us next time as we continue to explore leadership lessons from the fire line. Until then, keep leading with courage and agility.